up, everybody? So, back on the rat rod. And on last video, we talked about ordering up all the turbo parts for all the plumbing. And we did that. 3/4 of it showed up. Still missing important stuff like the turbo exhaust flanges. That's going to be here Tuesday. Stuff like the elbows for these. I got cast elbows. Those will be here Tuesday. These flanges Tuesday. So we're gonna get some stuff done today. Not nearly as much as I wanted to, but that's okay. So over here we're gonna do some pie cuts. So here's some stainless pie cuts. So that'll be for off the big turbo, and those will eventually go into this. So to get a better idea, I'll get these welded together. These are going to be close to a 90. There's 4 of them, so it doesn't quite make a 95. Takes 90 degrees, and they'll actually tie in something like this. It's going to take a little bit of messing around to do, but this is going to go, I'll show you. This is going to go here like this. So those two flanges will just tie together with a 90, and then it'll come out of this, and then I'll open this into that 4-inch. So it'll come from 4-inch down into this 3-inch, and we'll fish mouth it over the top of that, cut it open, weld it together, and then that'll be your merge pipe. So that's gonna be fun to do. That'll be a challenge. And then let's see, I'll show you this real quick too. So this 180 showed up. It's huge, massive. The only thing I don't like about aluminum is like these radiuses are huge. So, oh well, here's what it is. I'll figure out a way to make it more aesthetic, because it's kind of ugly. Yeah, that's okay. And then we also got these flanges for the outlets of these chargers showed up. So they are here. So there's these for the HX35, and that is the exact length of that. So we might get to, well, probably won't be today because I don't have any way of actually hanging the HX35s yet. So yeah, that'll be like that. And eventually, they'll be, like so-ish. And I'll just pie cut this thing and merge them together until it's in one, and figure out how to go from, like, that's 2.5, and I have to figure out some way to go to 4-inch for the rest of that turbo piping. So yeah, so we got a few parts. We'll do a little bit. We got the tape machine out, so get this up all nice and welded. This will look super cool. And that's the flange for the exhaust on the S400. So that'll just go on like that. So we'll get this stuff welded up. That'll be the start of our 90 out of the exhaust of the big charger. We'll get that welded up, and or at least tacked together. That way we can start hanging. I don't want to weld it fully yet, but we'll get it tacked, hanging off the back. And yeah, we'll do what we can today with parts we got, and we'll see how far we make it. There we go. All right, and just like that, there's a most of a 90. So I'm not gonna claim to be the best TIG welder, but we can weld it. It welded, it held it. So let's take this over. Walk our way around over here. And of course I've only got one hand, so just a minute and I'll show you. We'll get that thing on there. Okay, so there you go. Bolted on. So now you can see that once I get the flange, the exhaust flange for that one and that one, this piece of 90 will just weld solid between the two. And then, like I said, I'll come off this piece with one more angled on this side, and then it'll come down straight, and then it'll fish mouth. So it'll kind of like wrap around like this and like that onto this one. So how this is gonna work is you'll have exhaust out of motor into the large turbo, out of the large turbo, and then right here it'll split and go small turbo, and then those two turbos will have exhaust. And I don't know what direction we're gonna go with exhaust yet, but they'll have exhaust. So that's how your exhaust routes. Engine, big turbo, out big turbo, into the little turbos, exhaust out. So this is a compound. So then your little turbos have intake, so they'll have a filter on them, and then the discharge out of these will come in. They'll wrap one way or another. They'll merge into this 4-inch that goes into the large turbo, into the compressor, and then discharges out of the large compressor into the intercooler and into the motor. So that's how compound turbos work. Big turbo, it gets exhaust first. Little turbos get spent exhaust and then go out. Little turbos get air first. Big turbo gets air second, compresses even more and through the system. So pretty cool. That's gonna work out really good. And hopefully in a couple days, we'll have the flanges for that, and we'll keep going on this. So you just watched this cut out a flange. So I actually, amazingly enough, couldn't find anybody that actually had any of these cut out. So we went ahead and made one. This is gonna be nice and thick. I don't have to worry about it warping. And now, as you can see, we've got a whole bunch of stainless pie cuts. So I spent a little while the other day cutting a bunch of 3-inch stainless into pie cuts. So these aren't perfect, but they're good enough. So like you see, it'll just go in there and then it'll get welded up. So And in theory, it takes 5 pie cuts to make a 90. So we're going to just test fit this real quick, and I can put a 90 on this engine right here. I can put a 90 on it, and it just clears these fuel lines. So I'm gonna go ahead, we're just gonna tack up a 180 right now, because I'd like to I want this to come up and then just straight down, and then right about here, it'll make a little, little jog in and then go down. So right now, we're just gonna start off with a 180. I'll tack it together, tack it onto the plate, bring it over here, make sure that fits, and then we'll just keep going down with it. And then I did get the, let's see, I'll show you. These guys right here. So that's a 3-inch tight radius cast 90. And it's gonna take a little bit of work because this is 2.5. There's no room to even put a boot there, I don't believe. So this guy, we're gonna do some cutting, some trimming, some melting, some welding to get this thing on there. But right about, if I go back that far into this, should work. So something along, it's hard to see, but about there. So it's gonna take some work, but I think it's gonna work, and it'll look, well, I mean, it's gonna look cool, and it'll actually like do what I want it to, because like this 2.5 jumping up to 3, not that great for flow. Not that we're trying to make 1,000 horsepower, but still needs to be decent. So I think this is gonna work. All right, let's weld up our new intake horn. See how that comes out. All right, and there is a 180. And my math even mathed, well, it's not perfect, but 10 pieces roughly made a 180. Maybe we'll have to throw we're off a little bit. Dang it. How about that guy? So the drop. Whew, that's still hot. I'm an idiot. Throw that drop back in there. Oh yeah, there we go. That'll fix the problem. All right, we just gotta weld that thing in there. And then we got a 180. All right, cool. So then, right about like that. We'll tack that bad Larry on there. I think it's like this actually. Like that. See how it looks. All right, so there you can see. There's the horn. I went ahead and I did add a couple more pies to this just to start getting, I thought about bringing it like straight down and then bringing it in, but I think this is gonna look cooler. This will be a big long ram horn. And then I've got this piece of straight. So I'll weld that on now. And then I got one more pie cut because my math didn't math. And this is gonna start, this will go opposite direction of this on the bottom of that straight. And I'm probably got to go cut one more. I'll kind of see if this will represent. So that'll go on like that, and then that'll start changing the direction. And a piece of straight, actually I might only, it's hard to do one-handed. Might only need just that one here, angle, and then I might be able to just catch straight down. So I'll probably just do, weld this piece on here, weld the one more pie to the bottom of it, and then we'll probably stop there for now until I get these figured out. So make couple more welds real quick,
attach piece, a couple pieces more pipe.
And still waiting on these flanges. So they did not show up, but just want to say thanks to the Custom Fab Shop. They're out of Louisiana. I just found them online. They actually make the T3 flanges I ordered. They messed up, sent me T4. I called him the next day. Immediately, he had flanges sent out on like 2-day air to get them here, you know, a decent amount of time. And wouldn't you know, UPS went ahead and lost those. So who knows when we're going to get them at this point. So, I mean, big shout out. I think his name was Joey at Custom Fab Shop for making it right. And it's not his fault. Good old UPS strikes again. So I don't know if anybody gets a lot of stuff through UPS, but they're pretty good at losing stuff. I don't know how you would think as a shipping company they wouldn't lose stuff, but they're getting really good at it. So, yep, let's do some more weld on that. Okay, there we go. There's our extension, and then another pie cut, and it's gonna take one more pie cut to get straight, and I just so happen to have this one that this is what the pie cuts are out of, and I left one more angle on it. So I kind of think, I mean, it's way too long, but I kind of think with that angle on there, super hard to see. It does have an angle. There you go. You can kind of see it. So I think with that angle on there, I think that's going to be at least really close to match it up. So now I'm going to jump over and we're going to lop this stuff off and figure out the best way to weld that 3-inch 90 on there. So go ahead and lopped off about that much. Super straight, as you can tell, because I don't have a bandsaw here. Saw's all it was. And lopped off the ends of the tanks. Oh, that's a big one. Where'd they go? Oh, here they are. There's one. So lopped off the end of those because it was all too long. It actually worked out really good where this was like, it was actually, oh, there you go. It would actually fit in there, but it was just way too wide to fit in the frame. So went ahead, whacked those off, whacked these short, made them a super short radius, and then just kind of beveled this. That way that has something to sit over. And dude, it's like, there's a little, oh, there it goes. Close up the gap right there. And so yeah, she's like straight up totally weldable. So now, with both sides done, both of those, I got a 1/4 inch on each side before it hits frame. So that's enough to get a boot over it with a clamp. So we're gonna go ahead and use a piece of scrap aluminum, get my aluminum settings down, and we're gonna torch these things on, put a good tack on them, and make sure that they're pointed the right way, because this sits on the engine a little bit at an angle. So we'll just kick a little angle on them, put them under the car, and see if it fits. Just like that. Welded on, tacked on. I am not an aluminum welder. I've tried everything. I give up. So tomorrow, Monday, I'm gonna take this thing into Rex at work. He's our welder fabricator, and I'm gonna have him help me. So, well, I mean, it looks like it's gonna line straight up to it. So I guess I'll go ahead, measure that pipe to fit into here, and I'll leave, I don't know, we'll leave a fingers, call it 1/2 inch, call it 1/2 inch gap in there between this and the pipe coming down. That way coupler's got a little bit of room. Anything needs to kind of move around, it can move around. So let's measure, we'll cut that, we'll get that one tacked into that spot. Here we go. And there you go. There's a full intake horn. Technically an intercooler pipe all the way down to an air cooler. And I think it looks pretty cool. I haven't sat in the where the driver's seat's going to be, but I don't think I think this is going to be a lot smaller than any other option, and it's going to look way cool. It's not sitting up too high. Let's see. Let's take a look from the front. Oh, looks cool. Yeah, that's gonna add something cool to it. Once it gets all welded up, it'll have some good color to it. All right, well, there's one done. Now, if parts would just show up for this thing. Yeah, that's starting to slow us down. Waiting on parts again. Thanks, UPS. All right, well, on a high note, I just had these delivered. These are stainless weld-in bungs. So these are gonna actually be the turbo drains into the oil pan for the atmosphere turbos. So I guess while we're waiting on more parts to show up, let's go ahead and pop the oil pan off this thing and drill a couple holes, weld these things in, and I might have a gasket laying around here. Worst case scenario, we'll go pick one up at the parts store. So pop this thing off. Oh no. Won't quite come out of that. So kind of sludgy, I forgot it was brand new oil. It's sat for a while, and we've pressure washed it. So she's gross. Dump the rest of that. Alright, well, I'll let that drain for a minute. And they're on there. It's not pretty, but they're on there. I don't know. I'm guessing I just didn't have parent material very clean, but it's not gonna leak. And you know, if you're grinding TIG welds, you're doing something right. So let's get this thing the rest of the way cleaned up. Probably need to run to town, go grab a gasket, and put a gasket on it. I think that's about it. That's all we're gonna get to this weekend. Yeah. So, okay. Well, till next time. See ya.